Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to a test. It's called Do You Belong in Sweden, Finland, Norway or Denmark? It's time for a big move. I have to admit, I do not know the difference between them. I mean, I know that they're clearly like different countries, but I have never asked myself like, what are the differences between them? So this is going to be pretty interesting because I want to know. So let's check it out and comment, like and subscribe. Okay, do you consider yourself a relaxed, happy person? Yes, I am happy the most of the time. I don't like talking about my feelings. It depends on the day really, or nope, definitely not. I would think like it depends on the day really, like sometimes you can be depressed, right? Okay. Do you prefer hot or cold weather? Cold, hot, or I like both, honestly. A cold. I like hot weather, like people that actually do prefer like hot when it's like really hot. I think they're like psychopaths actually, because I think the problem is like you can say, well, cold, you know, it's cold and it sucks. It's like, yes, but I think when it's cold, even when it's chill, that really gets like, there's some types of cold that it's like, it gets like, you feel like it's inside your bones. Like, I don't know, it's the humidity. I don't know if like that's the type of cold. There's like some certain types of cold that really do like I'm being chilled like from the inside. I can't get it, like it's really hard for me to like get warm. But even then, I think it's less of a stressful situation than the hot. Because when you're hot, it's just like you are so hot, you're boiling, and it doesn't matter if you're like, you have like praxifies in your body. You have like, you're in air conditioning. You put like the trick about like putting or a fan. The trick about putting like wet towels in the fans or the sheets as well that you put inside your body. Well, on top of your body, but you know you spray them with water. It doesn't help. Nothing helps. Actually, it doesn't help. Nothing helps because you're just like getting so hot. And also, I think, I don't know if like this happens. You can faint as well. Like I know sometimes you're like, I'm getting actually dizzy from this hot weather. I think I'm gonna pass out. So, and I think it's common. Like it doesn't happen all the time, but I think like there's a lot of people that actually suffer from like getting like a heat stroke, and it's so hot that I think I'm gonna pass out. So you know, people that prefer hot weather are psychopaths, and that was my rant about this. Okay, which one appeals to you most? Music, architecture, literature, or dancing? Wow, this one's hard. Music or literature? Well, music maybe? Okay. Do you like sports? Yes, I play them. I don't play, but I like watching them on TV. I hate sports, to be honest, or I could take them or leave them. To be honest, I don't care. So, I don't hate them. I could take them or leave them, yeah. Because it's just like, whatever. What's your favorite season? Fall, winter, spring, or summer? Well, this is tough as well. I love spring, but I also like fall. I would say spring, but I think fall is very nice as well. How close are you with your family? You don't want to know. We're off and on. How can you be off and on with your family? Like, it's not relationship. It's complicated. It's your family. Like, it's not complicated. It's your family, not a relationship. Well, it is a relationship, but not a romantic relationship. Very close. We're close, but we also live our own lives. I would assume we're close, but we also live our own lives. I think that's the most normal. That's the most normal of answers. What do you value most? Respect, friendship, honesty, or loyalty? Okay, this is tough. I think like for what? Like it's like, do you value the most? Like what, in yourself, in other people, in life in general? This is a really tough question. I'm wondering like seriously, like what is this test? How does this relate to like the countries? But okay, so what do you value the most? Respect, friendship, honesty, or loyalty? I would assume like, what do I value the most? Honesty or loyalty or respect? I would assume, I think it's loyalty important. Yes, loyalty is important, but maybe like honesty. I think you maybe a white lie like can be like maybe you can get away with white lies. Friendship. I think it's the audio here because all of those things. Respect, obviously respect. You need respect all the time. Is it friendship? No, I think I'm between friendship and respect. But I'm gonna go with respect because I think it encapsulates like you can't have friendship without respect, and you can't have honesty, like true honesty without respect, and loyalty without respect. So I'm going with respect, I think. Okay, Norway. Wow, this is interesting. I like Norway. I think, you know, the fjords are very pretty. I always wanted to go there. I thought that I wish they would tell me like why. Why is it Norway? I have no idea. I would fit right in Norway. Okay, but why? Was it the was it the respect one that actually tipped it over the edge? I do not know because they're not telling me, which I'm like really sad about this. I think maybe because it's like, well, I know Sweden, or at least I think that's what I have it like. Again, I'm being a little generalizing about this, but I think that Sweden, like it's famous for being like very organized and very like quiet and very like, I think if you were like very strict, you would maybe fit right in right there like with Sweden. But maybe it's the opposite because I'm thinking, well, I don't know enough about Norway actually. So, or how are the people over there? Are they're similar to like Swedish in the sense of like they're quiet, they're organized? I would assume so because they're all Scandinavian countries. So I would think like they all have that in common. Like both Sweden, Finland, Norway, and Denmark, they're all very like they like things being done in a certain way. So I think it's more like type A personalities. I think would fit right there, right? I think maybe that's what it is. But actually, I do not know because it's like they also like one of the questions was like, do you consider yourself a relaxed person? Well, yes, relaxed, happy, as in like carefree. Maybe Swedish people I think are happy all the time. They're quiet, but they're happy. Maybe like depressed people. I don't know what Scandinavian country has. It's famous for being like pretty depressed all the time. Is it Finland maybe? I don't know. I'm thinking like by because Finland's like way up, like very up north, so they don't get a lot of sunlight. And my logic is they don't get a lot of sunlight, so they're less chill and probably like more depressed because they don't get vitamin D. Maybe I don't know, but I want to know. Or Denmark again. I think I have to look up like actual like what do people consider that are like sort of like generalizing and cliche things about these countries, because I could assume like if you fit in one of those Scandinavian countries, I think you would fit in all of them because I would assume they're similar, but maybe they're not as similar as I've been led to believe. Especially again like with the cold weather and the seasons, I was surprised about those questions because it's like, well, isn't it cold all the time because it's like Scandinavia and it's up north, so it's gonna be cold all the time. I know they don't get snow like 365 days of the year, but I would assume that even the seasons like the summer, no, but I think Sweden gets a nice summer, right? It's a nice summer as in like it's not gonna last a long time, but it is a very like it's a nice weather. But how hot can it actually get in Scandinavia? Probably not. The heat that I was talking about earlier, probably they don't get that amount of heat. I think even when it's incredibly hot, it's not going to be like that. They don't get, it's impossible. They're like way up north. So it's surprising to me, like which one of those countries has like the sort of like the reputation for being like, oh, this is the best country to like spend your summer. Maybe Sweden or maybe it's Denmark because Denmark's like lower. So I would, I'm going by distance and by region and location. So I would assume maybe Danish people are like, oh, it's summer all the time. Not really, but compared to Finland, maybe like they see it in comparison as like, oh, it's the summer. It's like constantly sunny and it's constantly like super hot in comparison to Finland. Maybe I'm totally off. Again, I don't know enough about these countries. And also, like, the one appeals to you the most? I think that was, like, a very interesting question. Like, the music, architecture, literature, and I think was dancing. Because it's like, well, one of those, like, I would assume maybe, like, architecture, like, Sweden. I can relate Sweden to architecture because of IKEA. Although, I know not really. It's not architecture, it's furniture. But that's where my mind goes. Like, but I can maybe, like, say music because ABBA, like, it's a very, or music in general, I think it's pretty, like, there's a lot of, like, Swedish bands that are, like, pretty famous. But so I wouldn't know. Dancing, I don't know, but did people in Norway love dancing? Literature, literature's gotta be Denmark, right? Because I can think of like a bunch of like famous sort of like Danish authors. So maybe Denmark was the one with literature, the one with literature being like very important. And apparently dancing, maybe Finnish people are very into dancing. I do not know, actually. And the sports one, as well, like, is there some Scandinavian country that actually ignores the sports? Because I know that Finland and Sweden are pretty big on, I think it's hockey. So what do Denmark and Norway do? They just don't care about them. They are less like, we don't care. It's ranging from hate them to indifferent. It's kind of like harsh to say, oh, I hate them, because like, okay, well, would you hate them? All of them, like, there's gotta be one sport that maybe you like, maybe not playing, but maybe there's like one sport that you actually like seeing like on TV, right? Maybe it's football usually. Like sort of like I don't care, or maybe like or car driving. Like those are like I wouldn't do them myself, but I like seeing them. Like it's cool, it's fine. But it's like I hate them, or maybe it's just a country that has suffered like so many defeats in several sports. There's like we hate them, so maybe that's it. But yeah, I would love to do this test again and like pick different answers and see what I get, because I'm very curious, and definitely would have loved to see like what makes those answers like, why did you get this answer? Well, because Norway is like this. Because again, I would have loved to know. I don't know enough about Norway, so now I have to like look it up. But that was it for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.